喜べ。
You never see it coming.
Take two. Yes, everyone, welcome to Let's Talk Fate Grand Order. I am Omega, he is Lucky, and we don't have any more time for any of that because... Holy shit, gacha alert! It's going nuts, everybody panic! Scream externally!
Scream externally, so we're gonna get through a lot of stuff, and we're gonna get to the meat of this situation. So, first off, explanation of spoilers. There's gonna be a lot of waifu talk, as always. And there's probably gonna be some spoilers for Fate Zero and other Fate titles who you have been warned.
Where the fuck is Ron? He's in the Upside Down or something. Nobody cares.
So we got bigger stuff to talk about.
What the fuck is Mash doing? She's putting out fires. She's not here to talk to us, but if she was, she would tell you to stay frosty, because you never know what's coming.
Alright, our achievement topics. I protected Kiyohime's smile. That's great. Good for me. That's 4 for me. Not all the world's evil, but damn close. Neither of us were ready for what is about to come. It's got us so off balance that we are actually on our second take because we messed up the first one.
Yeah, that's all on me. I forgot to loop my audio, so I recorded myself. So it was just sound effects and Lucky talking into the void. But we're here. We're doing it now. We're doing it for reals. Our skelograms are flying off the hook. The skeleton arm is on fire because we got a lot of news. Let's start at the top. North America.
North America, we got, right after Halloween ended, Da Vinci Selection, FGO's Finest Fellows Pickup Summon happened. Basically, you got an increased rate on the 5-star caster Waver, the 4-star Saber Siegfried, the 4-star Berserker Lancelot, and then you got Lancer Coup Prototype, and Rider Alexander, who is also rare. But guess what?
You fools! It was bait!
It is putting the gacha in gacha. Chris, you know, but you can explain how the bait gachas work, so you take it from here.
Yeah, so, in Japan, it's not uncommon for them to have a completely weak gimmick gacha and then immediately transition to a new gacha with actual, new content. This is no different. This is going to end right when a new event starts with a limited servant. It is just there to steal your quartz. Don't fall for it, please.
It's like, guard your quartz, hoard it. Now,
you really have to.
Now, more importantly, during the same time, we have half APs for all interludes. I was able to knock off all the ones I have backed up, and if you are all Masters of Culture, I highly suggest you complete Ushiwaka Maru's and Boudica's interludes. I said, it's equal measures cute and sexy. You guys know what I mean when you get there. But on the other end of that, fuck the Yawns and their 900k HP ghosts.
Rob Spears' ghost is an asshole.
Yeah.
By the way, he's not kidding about that. If you've seen that image online, that's not a shop. That's literally a thing.
Yeah, it took me about 30 minutes to complete that because I had a Tomino Cat Waver, and then a supports Tomino. So I had two MPs that don't do any damage.
You had 2/3 of the way to a stall team. If your other servant had been John, you would have been full stall.
Oh, no. I got to the full stall team because after Tomino went down, John came out. So then it was just like, well, I'm going to chip away at you.
I will live forever.
Just, keep buffing.
Turn number 90.
Oh, man, I actually should have taken a screenshot of what I actually finished on.
Yeah, no, that happens, though. For me, I didn't really hit any important ones. I hit some that I'd backlogged, like Romulus taking frickin' to Bond 5 to beat up some ghosts that are haunting Nero or some stupid stuff. I guess Phantom of the Opera was kind of funny because it had him and Caster Gilda Ray's kind of madness enhancement at each other, or mental pollutioning each other, going, Christine, Janu. But it was really dull. I want to do Boudica's, but I'm one writer piece short. Rip. Literally, I have 3 or 4.
Let's jump overseas real quick, because Japan got a new batch of interludes, right?
Yeah. Speaking of interludes, so they include new interludes, which mix quartz skill increases and NP increases for Fumiko Taro, Ozymandias, Zonseng, Kiritsugu, Cleopatra, Tora Tota, and Hassan of Serenity. Hassan of Serenity is cute, so I assume her interlude is cute. And this also includes a rolling rate up on all the servants except Cleo because she's limited.
Now, bringing it back stateside, this is what has got us in a panic frenzy.
Ooh, boy.
So, for a bit of backstory, back before FGO actually came out in Japan, they ran a short comic called Fate Gudaguda Order. It was a gag manga, had a very, chibi and cute style, had a bunch of gags, and they used it basically to introduce servants, talk about the game. It was just leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Recently over here in North America, I believe I think it was during the Halloween event actually. They started releasing translated chapters over here.
2 a day.
2 a day. And I think they were up to like 14 now. They've only been doing it like a week.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe 16.
Hold on.
Anyways,
keep going. I'll live look this.
Basically, this got me and Omega thinking that they're gonna do Honnouji around the time that Japan did, which was back in 2015, from November 25th to about December 10th, about 2 weeks time. Guess what?
Yeah,
we were wrong.
According to Facebook, by the way, this has not officially gone out on their Twitter or in-game news, not on their main page or in the actual app. But on Facebook, November 8th.
On Facebook, as part of their usual, get so many likes or shares, get 3 quarts, they mention that Gudaguda Honnoji will be starting November 8th. That's next week. That's not even 2 weeks after the Halloween event has finished.
Nope, Halloween ended, literally is going to run the Da Vinci banner for a week, and then it's going to start a major event with a limited servant banner. Holy shit, guys.
I am not ready. I don't think anyone is ready. I take that back. I'm pretty sure there's some people who are ready who are planning on spending their quartz.
That's true. There are some people who have literally not spent any quartz until now, until Okito was available. Those people
actually, I remember seeing an image on Facebook. A guy had 400 and something quartz. I'm just like, you.
How do you play this game?
Yeah, it's like honestly, people who are recording the course probably players who played the Japanese version or came over North America so they could do exactly this.
Right, so they're ready this time. They're going to do it right. For them, it's their second route, so they learned a lot from the first route, the first timeline. So they're going to do better this time. We're still new. We're going to have to wait until there's an EU version, which is also in English, and be like, well, the shoe is on the other foot. By the way, today is going to be chapters 19 and 20, I believe.
Oh, wow, okay.
So that's 10 days. And some people did predict the 8th because that would, at 2 a day, that would be the number of comics that Gudaguda ran. Not that anybody who didn't read it already would know that. So it's still a bit of a surprise.
Yeah,
Also, important to note, this event didn't get a rerun until March of this year. So, a year and a half? It'll be a while before this comes around again, so, tuck in, boys and girls.
Now, why this is, as I said, we're talking about chords and the rate up and stuff. Now, the reason why this is such a shocker is because it has a very rare, limited servant in the rate up. Because the highlights of servants of this event are the SSR Saber, commonly referred to as Sakura Saber, Okita Soji.
大北さん大勝
SR Archer, affectionately known as Nobu, or Demon Archer, Oda Nobunaga. And Fate Gudaguda Order.
And they were in the gag manga Kohei Ace, which is where they come from originally. But that's another thing that's not translated. Goddamn Type Moon.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, because I'm only going to have enough quartz for, 4 rolls, I'm going to hit 120. And maybe I'll have enough to buy another one. I might. And I have some tickets, obviously, because the ticket shop just started. But, so I had to think about this, because obviously London's coming up, and that's where another special Somebody to Be comes out. And I thought, well, do I just save and I roll in one of the London banners? And then there's a little bit, because Mordred's going to be in the paid gacha that's right after the guaranteed one. And also, her and Fran are in a different banner from Saber or Artoria Lancer Alter, who is a story lock, so she will only be accessible through raid-ups or by rolling on the story gacha, which will be probably never. So I had to think about this, long and hard about how to best do it. But then I actually checked the raid-ups. Mordred will get another raid-up for like a day in Valentine's next year, assuming things go to schedule, which they should, because it'll be a whole new year. Meanwhile, Okita's only really gotten raid-ups in Gudaguda Honnoji in its rerun, which, as we know, will take a while. A couple of paid gachas, and then there was a combined raid-up of her and Hijitaka, who's the limited SSR for the, follow-up Gudaguda event, because there's a kind of sequel event that's come out. There was some kind of Japanese convention where they were both on raid-up for, a week or a weekend or something. So, she's only gonna appear, 3 or 4 times? Not like Bryn levels of rarity, but, yeah. And also, she's going to be in the paid gacha over the new year anyway, so I figure I'm going to take my swing.
Yeah, same. I'm probably going to drop about $40, get at least 2 pools, and, I'll pray.
Lucky, I got to be honest with you. I think you should be, if you're going to blow your whole monthly budget on quartz, I think you should be careful. You might want to save one of those. You never know what they're going to do in the second half of November. It might be Skahawk banner.
Yeah.
And you don't have a gold lancer yet, right?
No, I don't.
Because there'll be one of those.
I think that's the only gold I have. I have gold everything but a gold lancer. Well, as I said, there's only one gold lancer in the game.
Got her on the first roll.
Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah, so, in case you guys didn't know, quartz and banners is serious fucking business, guys.
And serious fucking money.
Yeah. Well, was that last time that we talked about how successful this app is? I think that was the last take.
Yeah, that was the last take.
Okay, so...
Because you mentioned how, during the Halloween event, they reached in the US, they reached number 3.
Yeah, in, RPG games or something category, and they were, number 17 in mobile games overall. So...
Yeah, that's... And as a fake Grand Order, it's only been out for, 6... not even 6 months.
Nope. Because it came out in July. It will be 6 months until December.
Yeah. So less than half a year, number 3. People are spending money.
No, this game is a huge moneymaker. It just hit 10 million downloads in Japan not that long ago, and I think when Jeanne d'Arc's banner first hit in China, it was number 1 in mobile games in China, which is a huge mobile game market, like Japan.
It's honestly, I wonder if this is the power of the franchise, because there's a lot of games with a lot of waifus, and you don't, there's just something, there's dark magic involved in this game.
Well, Type Moon is rewriting history. Be careful who you Google search.
Yeah.
This is how the game makes money, guys. So try not to be too mad, but at the same time, be a little mad because it's funnier that way.
I'm totally a little mad. There will be much hissing and much hecking.
Yeah, but
enough of that. Let's talk
about the good things.
Event. So, just like Halloween, they're going to be doing the event item drops with an event item store. And for all of you out there who have been bemoaning the lack of horseshoes, infinity gears, hearts of a foreign god, chaos cloths, you are in so much luck, because all those items are in the store this round. It's a good number of them too.
So literally you and me?
Yeah. As I said, I have so many servants that are waiting for those 4 items, and I'm if anybody else, pretty sure they're waiting too. Like, I'll be able to max ascend Carmilla, Enya, Marie Antoinette, Boudica. If I get, like, some, I think Medea needs gears too. I know Waver needs gears.
Waver needs gears. Medea doesn't need gears, but she needs hearts. Hearts would be
She needs hearts, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, once I get hearts and horseshoes, I'll be able to do Medusa Medea, stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's like this is literally like just a big, like...
Fun fact, I think every silver rider in the game needs horseshoes at some point, and at least one of the gold one does.
Yeah. So...
Despite the fact that the game wouldn't have horseshoes in it until now-ish, normally. Because in Japan,
that's why we
was November.
But, so yeah, this is going to be a big relief package for everybody because gears still won't become something that's regularly available until London. I think it's something else. Oh yeah, forbidden text. Oh, by the way, slight tangent. If you guys need forbidden tape pages, go do Blackbeard's first interlude. Like, completely out of left field, but I walked away from that with 10 pages.
Samesies.
So seriously, so if you need some pages, go spend some time with Blackbeard.
Also, hey, guess what? Half AP interludes right now.
I know.
Which is good, because his is like 4 stages or something.
It's only like 3. But it's actually, it's funny too. So it's engaging, you get some good loot out of it. You might not use Blackbeard a lot, but it's worth your time. Alright, tangent over. Now, back on the event of the loots and events, they're going to be introducing a new mechanic this event. This is what's basically called the point system mechanic. Along with, like, your event drops, you're also going to be accruing points. They're called Honnouji points for this event. And they're cumulative, so you don't just get them like some at a time, they just add up over time. Basically, the more you collect the points and the more points you collect, the more prizes you receive. This is the way you're going to receive this event's welfare servant Nobunaga, in addition to other things such as Quartz Point, Saint Quartz, Gold Apples, the new Craft Essence Enhancement Craft Essence, which are called Nobu and Oki, as well as Phoenix Plumes and Dragon Reverse Scales. Phoenix Plumes, those are both already in the game, but they both have like ridiculously low drop chances, so again, relief package.
Yeah, Phoenix Plumes drop from Amazon Queens, and Reverse Dragon Scales drop from Dragons. Not Wyverns, Dragons, so both of those are high-level mobs.
Yeah. As a side note, the point rewards start at 100 points and end at 1.5 million. The last Oda Nobunaga, if you want to get that Noble Phantasm 5, is at 1 million points.
Yeah, so remember to get your points up, because Nobu will be a temporary servant, so she will be temporarily available to you, but if you do not get enough points to earn copies of her permanently, she's going to disappear. This is not like Castor Liz, where you just clear the last quest, you get a servant.
No, not like it at all. But as a side note, Golden Skulls, which are in the event shop, are much like Castor Liz's Twinkle Candies. They'll be purchasable only during the... So if you do get your Oda Nobunaga, make sure you get those golden...
Now, how can they get those points?
Well, he said, don't worry, they have something to help you with that. There is a craft essence to help you, but as I said, it's only a craft essence. So what they have now, have the choice of using specific servants to increase your points gained. The points are cumulative, and just to give you a heads up, the servants are as follows. Okita Soji, Miss SSR Limited, snowball chance in hell to get, is plus 100%. Now, it should be mentioned here that the NPC supports Okita Soji, because she's your NPC ally during the main quest, will give this bonus, so take it while you can get it. Oda Nobunaga will give 60% more points. I said, you'll be getting her temporarily for the event, so I said maximize that. In addition to that, we also have Emiya at 40%, Kugalin at 20%, Medusa at 20%, Mephistopheles at 20%, Ushiwakamaru at 20%, and Musashibo Benkei at 20%. And after going through that list, I have to tell everyone I have very sharp regrets. I've not put as much time into Medusa, Ku, and Ushiwakamaru. Benkei and Meth can go jump off a cliff. I don't give a damn about them, though.
Meanwhile, as established earlier, my Medusa and Ushi will only grow stronger.
Like I say, I've already, after I saw this, I've already started making plans on how I'm going to arrange everything. Basically, my front line's going to be Emiya and Nobu. Hopefully one of my whale friends gets Nogita. I'm just like...
Hopefully that is me, but we'll see.
And then I'm going to be putting my Medusa, Ku, and Ushiwakamaru into my back line. Hopefully with some of these items, I'll be able to actually ascend them, during the event. I just got to, force feed them.
Yep.
While we're doing it.
Are there going to be blazes in the store, Embers?
Yes, they are.
All right, good. I love that.
Attack ups and HP ups as well.
Ooh, food cards.
Test.
Yeah, no, you're good. Okay. Sorry about that brief hiccup. There was some live editing going on. So that's the bonuses, and I should point out, this is a mechanic that will stick around from here on. It is incredibly common in Japanese events to get bonus servants. So not only will the servants on Raid Up usually do it, but some others associated will boost your drops or your points or whatever, similar to craft essences. So speaking of a Raid Up...
So, with all the other events, we are getting a banner, the Gudaguda Honnoji banner. It's actually very on point. We have Raid Ups on the SSR Okita. It was limited, just, hammering that into all of y'all's skulls. Emiya, Medusa, Ku, and Mephistopheles. There's also going to be some limited craft essences. There's going to be the SSR Gudaguda Poster Girl, which has Medusa and, a waitress kimono hostess kind of deal. Looking very cute. I have a mighty need for her. Mighty need. The super rare launch order and the rare fake Gudaguda order said all three of these craft essences basically increase certain drops. It said there's going to be 3 times. There's also going to be one more craft essence for the events. I don't think it's limited. Well, it's not limited to the Raid Up banner. It's what was it called?
Yeah, because there's usually at least one in a store or in the whatever the actual story quests.
I think it's Honnouji or something. I just saw it. Oh, I feel dumb. Anyway, that's the only craft essence you can get that will boost your points. So, as I said, again, it's team balancing. Whether you're going for your event drop, or you're going for points. As I said, it's a lot more to juggle this time around.
Yep. And you want points. You want more points.
More!
Yeah, what would you say? Would you say, in the beginning, you want people to, focus on getting their event items out, or, focusing points? What would you suggest would be a solid strat for people?
Well, I don't know exactly what the store spending is like, but in general, we've said this before, but when you're working through an event, you want to focus on your welfare first, because that is limited and useful. You want to try and get them up to NP5, and you want to try and get their ascension items first. So if that's all points related, you probably want to focus on points first, because you're going to get a lot of drops where you're working on that, and then kind of, okay, I've, got my ascension items, I've got my servant cards, I've got my CEs probably, if they're available in stores and stuff. Or just you've picked them through drops, and then it's okay, let's do mats now.
Now, I do want to remind everybody is that CE effects do stack with multiple copies, so
and they do grow stronger when you max limit break them.
Yeah,
they usually double, I think.
Yeah, they usually double. But here's the thing: but that effect only takes effect when you've basically gotten 5 copies of the CE.
Yeah, so depending on what bonus your CE is, you may or may not want to max limit break them.
Yep.
If it's
And
like
you know,
one for each and you have, 5 copies, you're going to get +5. As opposed to if it's like +3, if you max limit break that, that'll be like +5 or +6. So it's more useful.
It's honestly kind of stressful to think about. You are literally doing like equations in your head to try to maximize your bonuses. But
listen,
honestly,
event math is a big deal.
Yeah, it is. But you have all been forewarned. I hope you take it to heart.
Yep. We don't want to hear any crying about, my event's gonna run out and I didn't get anything cool out of the store. We told you. We told you what you needed and how to do it. And I think actually some of the event CEs are okay, which is good, because sometimes they're not. Poster Girl at least give you taunt, which is great. I think there are a couple of skills which taunt in the game, but it's a pretty rare ability right now.
Oh yeah, doesn't it also give attack up as well for like the first 3 turns?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does.
It's for tanking, basically.
Yeah.
Alright, so at our 25-minute mark, we have covered, I think, everything about Gudaguda Honnoji at slightly under half the showtime. A solid investment.
I think so.
So, there's one more bit of news to talk about.
Yep, this is like actually my shtick, because I'm super excited about this. But, the movie Heaven's Feel Presage Flower premieres tonight. That'll give you some time of idea of when we're recording this. Unfortunately, we've got no word on any events or giveaways happening on this side, but perhaps further down the line, we may get the animation bumps that Japan received.
Yeah, Aniplex has said before that they want to bring over the new animations that have come out since the NA game has come out, but they just haven't found a good place for the update. I'm hoping maybe with Gudaguda, because Medusa's gotten an animation update, and, she's important to the event, so that will be a good slot in.
Yep, I also just want to know, after the initial premiere, that select theaters around the U.S. will be showing the movie throughout the month. I said I bought a ticket. Mine is the November 18th in Vancouver, Washington. So I've got a 3-hour drive ahead of me to go see this movie and get a free poster.
Good job,
Hopefully, it can be worth it. Good job, mate.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing any around me.
I don't think so. No.
That even matters because I don't. Where would I drive? I'm not going to drive 3 hours.
Aw, man. So a lot of these notes. Okay, so let's get into Child of Free Talk.
AKA, we had no idea this was gonna fucking happen. They got us.
Yeah, and
basically here, one, because I want to play the sound effect, but also because it's relevant. Basically, this was us yesterday-ish when we first saw the screen caps in the Facebook post. Yeah, lots of screaming externally, so we planned for some notes for the show because we thought, we're going to have a light show. We're going to talk about some stuff and what to expect in November. And then Aniplex was like, no, here is what November is about. And we're like, shit.
Props.
So show notes were half written. And then it was like, shit, now we have to do Gudaguda pregame.
Yeah. I literally knocked out all those show notes and one afternoon, I literally start this morning shit, how am I going to do this? Omega was just write something and we'll edit it better. I'm like, got it.
Write it all down, and we'll fix it in post.
And we did. Mm-hmm. But just for posterity's sakes, and just to let you know where our minds were, I'm just going to go through our notes as is. So our first one is, what to do when an event ends.
Because Halloween did just end.
Yeah. Basically we said, farm embers for all those servants you ascended, get QP for a treasure vault if you need it, and do the interludes with servants whose bond levels you've been grinded up. Again, that is probably all going to be put on the wayside.
Well, it might not, because you still, you got to think about the event that's upcoming. But still,
we had a few days. If you guys want, I know, but not, I was thinking, doing some relaxed farming, not no high-powered stress fueled grinding bender.
I need to do all the dailies for all the mana prisms because I need to buy the last couple tickets in the store.
Yeah, because real talk, immediately after the Halloween was over, I felt like it was kind of like the end of a convention. I felt relieved, relaxed, a little regretful, but ultimately fulfilled. Now I'm just starting to feel stressed again because here we go, like, venting again. It's basically like, oh yeah, I just got home from this convention. Oh, great, now I'm going to another one. I haven't finished even unpacking from the last one.
AKA, once we're big YouTube stars, what our lives will be like.
Yeah, YouTube.
Hopefully they have Wi-Fi at these events so we can play Fate Grand Order.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, like, yesterday Lucky was like, oh man, I wonder if they're going to move up London. I'm like, don't talk to me about that. You're going to give me a heart attack. I'm already having, like, full-blown anxiety math shit. What do I roll on what banner? But then I actually looked at the rate-ups and I was like, okay, no, this works. I got a plan. But still, it was like, don't even right now. So let's go through our predictions for November.
Alright, so I'm leaving. So we left this one as is just because, again, it's funny. But I'm going to read this verbatim from our notes. As previously mentioned, with the Gudaguda Order comic being released at a regular date, it's more than a fair chance that Gudaguda Honnoji will be our major event for November. Expect this to slide in. This is where I deleted what I had originally said of mid to late November and put in next week. Followed by there. Whoa there, Anaplex. Let us take a break.
Yeah. Whoa.
I am.
Calm down.
They're like, no. Gimme.
No, we want your money.
Yeah. But
give money.
But honestly, thinking about it now, this actually does make a little bit more sense. Because depending how things shape up, I can never pronounce her names. Skahak banner and trial quest could be a surprise. Originally, that was early December in Japan, but NA players can potentially see this pop up in mid-November to keep the gap appearing between events and banners. Because as we've now been established, there is like zero downtime. There is always something happening.
Mm-hmm. You just gotta learn when it's bait and when it's not.
Yep. Also, pure speculation at this point, but as I said, over here in North America, we have an opportunity to add some American flavor to FGO by introducing banner or free gifts around Thanksgiving and or Black Friday. It's like, this seems more likely with Honnouji being moved up, and honestly, if it was me, I'd just be giving away a lot of goodies on Thanksgiving and probably do a quartz discount on Black Friday. Unfortunately, I don't know if like Japan has ever done a quartz discount.
I mean, Japan has a feature they introduced, I think, last anniversary, where you get more free quartz when you buy quartz, and there's been some thoughts about adding that to NA because we got decreased quartz to roll. For instance, it used to be 40 when it launched in Japan, and now it's 30, and it started at 30 in NA. I know they wanted to make sure there was no like legal problems with people who bought quartz and then didn't get as much quartz as you can get later. I don't think it should be a problem, though, because technically you're only paying for the paid quartz. The rest quartz is just free. It's bonus. That could be a Black Friday thing, though. Get more bang for your buck. And also, if I was going to do it, yeah, just like, I don't know, like 5 to 10 golden apples on Thanksgiving. Or maybe like a pack, like get some bronze, silver, and gold.
Oh yeah, like a cornucopia. That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. And obviously some free quartz, because free quartz, guys.
Yeah, free quartz.
By the way, I think we were in such a rush that I didn't stop to confirm, but yeah, I believe it's the old 10k likes or 2k shares for 3 quartz.
Yeah.
Which it has almost assuredly hit by now.
I think I deserve some apologies for this near heart attack they gave me.
You want more than 3 quartz?
Yeah.
Well, there's probably going to be a maintenance, so there'll be a little more.
Yeah. Alright. Now, I threw this in here just because I like sharing, but as we previously established, like me and Omega are now collecting FGO or, organize it all in folders. My collection is up to 36 folders and has 159 files. It has begun. That Omega followed up with.
Yes, so, verbatim, as I read this, I typed, if you want to start that fight, it's 47 folders and 619 files over here. The number's not necessarily accurate, because they're not anymore. That's outdated. That's last week. or earlier this week or whatever.
And all I can say with that is shit. Now it's a fight. We'll keep you guys updated on these numbers.
It is a fight. I am sure I am still winning for now.
Probably.
Yeah. By the way, in case you don't know, we are really catty in the show notes, going back and forth because we each have a color, and we just do rows of indentation as like our color commentary on top of the actual show notes.
As it's kind of hard when we're trying to read from them, but it's good to remember. It's good to remember how like catty we were, so we can keep that flow going.
Yeah, it's why we started coloring our personal thoughts, because it was like, okay, we need to save these notes for on mic, but also I need to remember what I said.
Yeah.
So speaking of things we need to talk about on mic, we got to talk about Amazon as CEO and how much that needs to be a costume option.
How do you pronounce her name again? It's Penthesilea?
Hold on, I gotta look at it, because Greek is weird.
Greek is weird.
Penthesilea, I think. Hold on. Is there a... No, it's not phonetic. Damn you, Wikipedia. I think it's Penthesilea.
Penthesilea. Basically,
Pen.
Queen... Penthesilea.
Just call her Pen. Or Penny.
Pen.
Like everybody
Penny.
else
Let's call her
does.
Penny. So, Penny is an Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Legit Amazon. Is she the Amazon Queen? I forget.
She is a queen of the Amazons, yes.
Queen of the Amazons, yes. Fucking really pissed at one of the Greek heroes. I can't remember the pretty boy's name. Perseus, Achilles.
It's Achilles. AKA Achilles! Literally, her noble phantasm is she convinces herself the enemy is Achilles and kicks the shit out of them.
But because she's an Amazon and we have a worldwide market called Amazon, guess what the internet has decided to do?
Not the internet, the fucking Halloween event in Japan. Which I guess is kind of the internet, but still, no. The internet's running with it.
I can't consider like the internet like the source of all meme generation.
It's true, but the internet is running with it, is what we should say. Like, I don't even know how big of a deal it is in the event, but... So basically, Pen shows up in glasses and a tie, and still in the rest of her Berserker costume, which is like, some boots, some gloves, some abs, and not much else. And she's the Amazon-esque CEO, delivering packages to Osakabe Hime and others. And
just let that sink in. It's great. It's like, I didn't have a penny folder before this. Now I have a penny. It's like, it's super cute and endearing, even though when she looks like she's about to rip someone in half. Because there's images of that, of her with a package, about to go full rage on not Achilles.
There was also the great parody of the Onion article about Amazon Key, which is a terrible idea for a service where Amazon's smart technology unlocks your door so they can leave packages inside. Where the Onion article was Amazon starts a new service to get you killed by strangers, and it's the same thing, only instead of a random Amazon person with like a gun at the door, it's Penny just there to be angry at you. But yeah, that's the thing.
That's a great
and I
thing.
have the transparencies for that sprite, so they will assuredly be in the thumbnail.
Nice!
Yep. Speaking of thumbnails and stuff we do on videos, last week we achieved a record 2 dislikes. So I think we're doing okay if we're reaching enough people to piss them off enough that they decide to actually dislike us. That's amazing. I'm a little curious as to why people want to dislike our videos and why we get shitloads of downvotes on Reddit, so much so that we often balance out to about 50-50, aka 0 points. I'm really kind of curious what people want to gain from this. Like, do they expect us to just see this and stop because some people went, nah? I mean, they aren't even typing KYS, so what even? What even?
I'm gonna just put this out here because, moral high ground stuff. if there's something that you think we can do better, like, don't hesitate to tell us. I said, we
Like the
appreciate
audio thing?
feedback. Yeah, like we appreciate the feedback, and we'll take your suggestions to heart.
Yeah, no. Like last week, some of the sound effect was too loud, so I got multiple complaints, including one from Lecky, who tried to listen to it, was like, Jesus, bro. So I'm like, okay, I hear you guys. I'll work on it. I'll make sure to normalize the audio and up our lows and low our highs and stuff like that.
Balance.
But yeah, no, like,
so
if you actually want to tell us some shit, do it. Honestly, even if you've got the stones to say to our faces or our internet faces, kill yourself or whatever, like whatever toxic YouTube junk, you're not gonna hurt my feelings, guys. Honestly, I've been on the internet a long time. It's you're not gonna bother me. But if you have like legit critiques to say, like, if we're doing something you don't like or something we could do better, go for it.
Yeah, we're here to bring higher quality production to you.
So, let's talk about another debate. Officially, Lucky has said that he wants to call it waifutology now, even though I think that waifuology is the most linguistically pure.
Well, like, okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I get stuck on really weird things, and I jump from topic to topic all the time. And yeah, this was one that happened. Because, like, I'm not so much a man who worries about function as I do about form. It has to feel good and look good as well as make sense to me. Otherwise, it just kind of goes flat. I'm one of those guys who will purposely wear weaker armor in a game just because it aesthetically matches.
That's why cosmetic slots are best. Also,
Yeah.
I think it's because you've got an art brain.
Yeah.
So you do draw and stuff. I mean, you do write, but I think you primarily focus on the drawing and the visualizing of it. I am all words, so I look at something, I'm like, okay, does this writing or speaking work? Like, does it make sense, and is it correct, and does it function?
Mm-hmm.
Because,
so,
you can do a lot of stuff, but yeah.
thinking about it, and I came up with the idea of waifutology. Mostly because it rolls off the tongue better. Waifuology, it's like you just have that kind of bump in the middle. Waifutology adds that hard T in there, and it just flows. Looks a little weird, not gonna lie, but it's like something you're gonna like be saying more than seeing.
It's also not linguistically correct.
Whatever. It's like Scientology or paleontology.
So, hey, you know how we talked about how we get catty in the show notes sometimes? This literally turned into a language lesson. So my next bullet point down is, that's because paleontology is a 3-part word. It's composed of paleo, onta, and logi.
To which I respond is, what the hell is onta?
So then I literally broke it down, as Google breaks it down. If you Google paleontology etymology, paleo means prehistoric, onta means beings, and logi means study. So it's the study of prehistoric beings.
So I've then, and it's like, all right, so it, well, no, I didn't exactly roll into that, and it's like, well, then it would be like paleontology, and it's like, then some, and that's where I went from there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you blend the vowels at will. Linguistics is an art.
Yeah, and so then I was like, we can do the same with that. It's like because I can totally see it be the study of waifu beings. It's like,
sure.
You can just make waifus their own, like, separate kind of thing. I mean,
and then I kept going because I'm like, but then would it be, if we don't, there should still be an N in there then, so shouldn't it be waifuntology? Which does have fun in it.
And then at that point, we're just kind of like, we just need to ask other people, because we're just going to be stuck on our
We've
own.
just gone, we keep going down this rabbit hole, and it will not end. So that is one of our master feedbacks. What do you think about this whole waifuology debate? Should there be a T in it? Should there be an N? Should we stop talking about this because it's dumb? And speaking of our dumb traditions even more, I'm using speaking of a lot, but it's a great way to segue into another subject. I have discovered today that Lucky is not comfortable unless the show notes are 5 pages long.
It's literally been 5 pages for the past several episodes. Like, every time, once we hit about 5 pages, like all right, we have enough content. We're good. It's our shtick now. See, and this came up because, as I said, we're planning to do our extras episode, which is going to be called, like, something, what I call it, like...
bonus stage.
Bonus stage, where we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of, like, homebrew and, like, weird ideas that we got.
Remember how we talked about how we're creative? We're going to throw some dumb creative ideas out and see what people think. But yeah, so that was a big chunk of notes that were transplanted, and then it was like, well, we've lost a little bit of page room.
Yeah, and so we went down to, like, 4 pages, and I, like, literally had, like, I'm going to stretch out what we have until we have 5 pages again. And I did, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
I felt better, things were balanced.
By the way, I think the reason why 5 pages stuck is because when we were regularly hitting 5 pages, that was when I decided we had to do this weekly. I was like, we have 5 pages of show notes. We need to do a show to keep clearing this.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what's our time at?
We are at about 45 minutes on the mission clock.
Alright, well, we got time to do a servant spotlight.
Yeah, that's right. Let me do a drum roll. So today, because it's relevant, let's talk about Waver, aka Justin. No, I'm bad at that. Aka Lord El Meloy 2.
This is why we call him Waver.
Yeah, it's just fucking easier. God damn it.
Way better. Listen, you talked a lot about Tomino, so I'm gonna take Waver here because also I will effing gush.
Well, let's be fair. You gushed about Tomomo, and then you were like, but I didn't roll Tomomo, so I can't contribute to this conversation later. And then I was like, alright, let me tell you why Tomomo's good.
Yeah, it's like, I couldn't get into our mechanics.
You actually own a Waver. Out of 2 people sitting in front of these microphones, there was only 1 Waver between us. You rolled Waver on air, too, so it's incredibly relevant.
Yeah. But, Waver is the first 5-star caster in the game, and arguably the best support at the moment. This guy's like... What are casters weak against? Writers? Yeah.
Yes.
His
Casters beat assassins, beat writers.
Yeah. His story is a bit crazy, though, as the bulk of his story is from Fate Zero, but he can see in other Fate works, like Unlimited Blade works, he's in episode 25, in Apocrypha, he's in episode 1, but as I said, in those, he's his adult form, the form that you see in the beginning when he's first rolled. He has the long hair, the glasses, the I don't give a fuck attitude.
The smoking.
Zero, you see Waver in his child form, and he is literally the single ray of sunshine that gives you hope. I won't get too far into his story, but he becomes basically a participant in the Holy Grail. He draws a servant, he fights, he doesn't win, but he, horribly scarred, like everyone else. Actually, he comes out of it a better person.
He learned some life lessons.
Yeah, there's some life lessons. And if you know his story, and then you come over to FGO, you start seeing a lot of interesting parallels and start drawing some interesting connections. Like, when you realize when Waver is instructing Alexander and the Septum chapter, you go, aha, role reversal. And it's kind of interesting. But to get more into the mechanics of him, his ID is number 37 on the Spirits Origins list. At level 90, he has a max HP of 14,259, an attack of 10,589. Those are very respectable numbers.
It's a very solid middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
Not too high, not too low.
As I said, very good. But a lot where he really shines is actually his skills in Noble Phantasm. So, I say he only has 2 passive skills. He has item construction and territory creation. So, as everyone knows, one boosts art damage, the other boosts debuff chance.
Also, specifically, it boosts art's effectiveness, so
Yeah.
that affects NP gain and the like.
Yep. So his skills work greatly with boosting the entire party's attack, defense, MP charge. One of them increases critical damage. It's great because first one he gets is Discerning Eyes. Gives usually about a 30% MP charge gain and then increases critical damage. Second one's Tactician's whatever. They're both Tacticians something, but one increases defense and MP gain, gives you like 10% MP gain. Second one increases attack and gives 10% MP gain.
Also, we should be specific. They not only does it give defense up, it also gives damage cut. A rare effect where it reduces the damage by a set amount in addition to actually buffing your defense. And there's also a damage plus on Waver's attack buff, which gives a flat increase to the amount of damage you do in addition to actually raising your attack stat temporarily.
Yeah. It's like super useful. And as I said, so it's like you're gonna need some servants that need that little bit more MP buff to get there. You can have someone at 50% have a 50% MP charge. Waver comes on the field, guess what? That can be shot up to 100, and guess what? Everyone else is still gaining 20 as well. As I said, he's also an arts deck user, so 3 arts, 1 buster, 1 quick. So his MP gauge is already charging constantly.
He also has very good NP gain. His arts is only a single hit, but it's still very good.
Mm-hmm. His Noble Phantasm, they actually changed the name of it to North American. I can't remember what it is.
In the US, I think it's Unreturning Formation.
Yeah, Unreturning Formation. In Japan, it's like Seal of Labyrinth, something, Japanese. Moon Language.
It's I think the rough term that people mostly talk about is Stone Sentinel Maze.
Yeah.
But it's whatever. Things are weird.
As I said, his Noble Phantasm is literally other foot. It's great at debuffing enemies. It inflicts defense down, curse, MP loss, and stun. So the whole his I think item creation gives the debuff.
Yeah, item creation is debuff chance up.
Debuff chance, and so as I said, boosts that up. As I said, and it is great for stalling like so much.
Also, it's an Arts Noble Phantasm, which means you can very easily NP Arts, which means he can do a Noble Phantasm and then refund himself a whole shitload of NP right back.
I know, it's not Medea levels of refund, but it's still very good. As I said, the Unreturning Formation hits all enemies, so it's good.
Yeah. We have now waxed poetic many times about Waver's usefulness in hard quests.
Yes, that's why I lost my shit when I pulled him during the recording.
Shout out to all support Wavers everywhere. You guys are the best.
Yes, you are. So, one last specific note about Waver that I want to touch on personally is literally there has been twice as much work put into Waver as most other servants, like right now. The reason being for this is his sprite, voice, and animation are all of the adult form until you hit his second graph upgrade, at which point he reverts back to his younger version, and everything changes. His voice actor changes, his sprite changes, his animations change.
Well, I don't know if his VA actually changes, but it's a different style of voice, that's for sure. It's at least a whole new set of lines.
It's definitely higher pitched and younger sounding. Actually, you should probably check to see.
But so even so, it's a double set of lines.
Yeah, they have to record him twice. It's literally twice the effort as any other servant.
Yeah, there's some later story chapters where then it's not as uncommon, where like servants' true identities are hidden, so they have a couple of variations on some of their lines, but it's never a double set of voice lines.
It's something very unique and special, and they actually, and I haven't got to the interlude yet, but it's actually something addressed in the interlude where he goes off and tries to figure out why the hell he's been turned back into a child. So it's not something they gloss over.
No, and the answer is that apparently his childlike form is the closest to the self where he could be a heroic spirit. Even though technically he's a pseudo-servant, he's got the tactician Zhujiang riding inside Waver's body, but he takes a backseat mostly, so mostly it's Waver.
Yeah. That's like, it's because, if I remember right, the pseudo-servants usually find someone who reflects them the most. Because Waver has said, he's actually not a great mage. He just puts in a lot of thought and effort into what he does. So, I guess, kind of takes the tactician role. So, it works, combines, rates.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add about Waver there?
Not really, though I will say that Waver will be very important later because he is a central ally when we do the Fate Zero crossover event, which should be early next year. He will be the servant form of Waver will be your major NPC ally and driver of that plot, which will be very rewarding if you actually know Fate Zero.
Oh.
And I mean rewarding in a good way. Like, if you know how that story was written, it's actually supposedly a very interesting contrast. And also it involves Welfare Irisville and non-limited Kiritsurugu Assassin and limited Iskander, so it'll be a good event.
It'll be a very good event. I hope we get it soon.
Yeah, it should be early next year sometime. Like, not March, maybe April? I don't know. When you look at literally all the events for, like, the entire next year, they kind of blur together. It's very packed, though, as we've discussed.
This is a busy game.
Yeah. So that about actually puts us at our usual stopping point, our usual wrap-up. So we can go into kind of our outros. I will tell you future predictions. I'm predicting that next episode I'll have an NP5 Emiya, just you watch, because I'm going to roll a bunch of times in his rate up. I already have NP3.
What's the Emiya? Is it 3?
Yeah. So 2 more copies.
So I got 2 Carmillas in the Halloween.
Yeah,
so
I feel it. I feel like it's gonna happen. I don't know if I should be mad or not, but we'll see.
I don't know, man. Saying you got a NP5 Gold Archer, that's not hard.
Yeah, having a non-welfare SR who is an NP5 is something, and UPW is not a bad Noble Phantasm, especially since I did his interlude. It does good damage, it does attack down, and then it has a shitload of hits for, like, crit stars or NP gen or whatever.
Real talk, I don't know if any Japan or even in North America, has anyone ever actually gotten that item that you get after you get 5 copies of a 5-star? Has anyone been able to actually get enough of them to trade it for another 5-star?
Oh, unregistered servant origins? I've seen some threads about that. It doesn't happen a lot. Most of those are whales who roll a shitload on banners.
Yeah, if you're a whale and you've done this, tell me the story. I want to hear about this.
Yeah,
because it just seems like such a far out concept. It's kind of hard to put into realistic terms. So
yeah, I don't remember what the term is in Japan because it's slightly different. But in the U.S., they're unregistered servant origins. They're the thing you get when you burn your 5th copy of an SSR because you have too many. You get an unregistered spirit origin, and you need 10 of them to trade in for another non-limited SSR. AKA probably the crappiest safety net system, because the odds of rolling the same 5-star 5 times, it's nuts.
You need to do that
it's dumb.
10 times to get another one?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. Personally, I think they should sell them in, like, the Rare Prism shop. Like, even if it's just for, like, depending on how many you get out of, like, 4-star servants, but even if it's just, like, yeah, if you get, like, 50 copies of a 4-star servant, you don't need any more, you can sell them and then buy a couple of unregistered or whatever, and you can buy a 5-star. That'd be okay. Who knows? We've got another New Year coming up. That's one of the times when Japan seems to do new things. So who knows if they'll pull the old New Year switcheroo and figure it out. I know there are a lot of people who, as the game is getting older, are clamoring for a better... As there are more characters, a better safety net system, because, in a sense, the game doesn't necessarily watch your back if you throw a shitload of money at it. It's all just RNG. Other games are not necessarily as generous. For instance, Fire Emblem Heroes has a slightly higher SSR rate, and the rate goes up every time you don't get a 5-star. But it's got a much higher buy-in for orbs, and you can't roll as many times. It's 5 orbs to do your first summon, and then it goes down a little bit to 2 at the last one, but you can only do 5 at a time. So it's 20 for 5, as opposed to 30 for 10. So I think it's like a different comparison, I think. And even then, their game relies on multiple copies. You need to get multiple copies of your good guys to squish them together and get extra points and higher ranks and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's that. We've talked about our master feedback a little bit. We want to know your thoughts on this wifeology business. Also, don't forget to follow on Twitter. Especially follow me, Unit Omega, on Twitter. Not only do I tweet out when the videos come out, which could be important because earlier today, YouTube had a bit of a weirdness where some people couldn't see certain channels in their sub list, even though they're still subscribed. So that's always fun when that happens. So in addition to tweeting out new videos, I also regularly RT lots of FGO stuff, both from their official Twitter and also just fan art. And also you get to see thumbnails and stuff early, because I tweet those out when I make them. So there's that. That about wraps our show up. Let's see, what's our total time looking at here? Oh, just over an hour. All right, solid. I thought this was going to run longer, but we sped run the beginning.
Nice.
Because panic. So yeah, that's about what we got. Next time, we will probably talk about initial impressions of Gudaguda Honnoji, because it'll have started. Mm-hmm. We'll get to see how we're doing with the event and stuff. I'll probably have rolled some quartz, so you can be sure there will be some thoughts on that.
He says thoughts. He actually means salt.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm only gonna roll 4. I'm only gonna end up rolling 4 times, so I don't know how salty I can get. It's just, I was not good with hoarding my quartz. But yeah. So we'll also see how many smiles we can protect with all our sweet event loot. I'll be getting a tooth capped earlier that week. I'm glad they decided to do it on a Wednesday, not a Tuesday, when I'm going in, because that'll probably kill my whole afternoon. Going to see the dentist, but hey, life happens. And so we'll hit you guys up next time. So if you like this video, be sure to give us a like. If you have many comments on any of the things we've talked about, which I'm sure were comment worthy, go ahead and drop those in below. We didn't actually get a lot of comments last week. And if you want to see more of these videos, we post them fairly regularly, so please remember to subscribe. And if you got any worries about us, not showing up in your subscribe, follow on Twitter, make sure to turn on notifications so you get alerted whenever a new video pops up.
Alright, everyone. Everyone take care, try not to stress out, and gird your loins for battle.
Mm-hmm. We will leave you with a final thought of Scream externally!